Hi everybody, Nancy here. All right, I hope I'm going to finish telling you guys about tables. This is part 2 and using round tables in ZoomNotes. I cannot tell a lie. When it was first introduced, it's like, okay, I don't see a whole lot of application for it, but I'll play with it. And oh my gosh, within an hour, I had so much stuff that was unique and different. It was like, we have a magic tool here. The circle tables are amazing. Tables altogether are amazing. There's so much you can do, but the circles are crazy. All right, let me try to get started here with a round table. Let me open up a screen. And it looks like I have a little something there. Let me delete that. Okay, I decide I want to build a table. And I'm going to go to Style, and I'm going to just select one of my favorites down at the bottom and draw it so that you can see what happens when I do certain things. It's just a regular table. And I guess I need to make the lines a little bit thicker so that you guys can see it better. I'm just dragging my pen across the preview. Y'all are going to know that part if nothing else. All right, right now it's a rectangle. 3 by 2, well 6, it says it. If I go to the Shape tool and I click on circular, it makes it a round table. So for the most part, all of the controls are the same exact controls that you have with the rectangle. It's just two other options here on this screen that are different from everything else. The first one is the circle sweep angle. If you drag to the left, it opens that up so that you can have tables that, if you turn them sideways, you could do something with them sideways. There's all kinds of things, especially if you're just kind of artistic. You're only limited by your imagination when it comes to these things. I'm telling you, I have done so much with this, just putzing with it. All right, so that's what the sweep does. Let me get back to it. Open it up. I'm going to take it back to 360. So it's a full circle again. Now the circle center gap, if you drag it to the right, it makes the hole in the middle larger. Okay. And I'll show you why you want that in a little while. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to Style. And I'm going to create a round table that's like a pie chart and make it, let's make it 9 columns and 1 row. And I need to go back and get rid of go back to Shape and get rid of the gap. Okay. Now watch what happens. See, whenever you make a gap, it's a literal hole. If I drag it over something, see, you can see that it's a hole. This is completely transparent. But if I don't want that, go back to I'm going to close that gap up. No, I'm going to go the wrong way. Now, it's a normal pie chart. You work in the office and you want to show something. You want to give some statistics about something. Well, my first thought is, well, I need to put some titles on each one of these pie pieces. And the way I would do that is to add a row. Go back and add an extra row. Well, that's 2. That puts it right in the, I guess it's centered. But I don't want it that way. I need a title bar, basically. So if I go to the cells, remember the cells are to make the height and width change. Like if I change the height and I want to I want to drag it to the left. Now I have a row that is thin so I can type my title in it. And I still have the pie look like a pie. See, the other thing was a hole. I didn't want a hole. I wanted a whole pie slice. So that's why you would change that here. Now, if you want to, you know, if memory serves me, usually a pie chart is, you know, one column will be wider than the next. I'm sliding it around, and I'm saying that's a big piece of the pie. And then I'll do a plus sign and do another, and I'll drag that one. Okay. And you're in control of it. You make your pie pieces like you want them. All right. Now I want to go back and think about adding my title. So if I click on the A and I type somewhere over, I'm going to type right there. I'm just barely tapping. You see, I wrote the, I just barely tapped on that cell. And I type, and hit tap enter. See, it actually puts it at a right angle. Now, looks like it's maybe too big for the space. I just need to change my default size. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Nothing is selected, so if I go to the A again and I start making changes, it will change the default. Now, if I changed it while something was selected, then the default wouldn't change. Only the thing that you're working on would change. So I'm going to make my point size a little smaller, and I'm dragging my pen across the top so that I can make it smaller. Now, see, when I do that, I'm sliding my pen back and forth on the preview. The reason I do that, I can go in here and tap and, you know, try to enter a number. And if I need an exact number, that's great. But most of the time, especially with widths of borders and such, I have no idea what point size I need. You know, I'm just trying to make it look right. And if I try to type something in, I'm going to be guessing and then have to just keep guessing. But if I just slide my pencil, I can see it exactly the way I want it. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. And I'm also going to change it to a script font because I believe, well, I'm going to show you what I think happens. I think script makes it look more curved. If you notice, it doesn't curve at all. It only puts it in that spot, but it's straight as a board. And I love the ability to type in, and I love that it faces the right direction as though it's facing the middle of the chart. But I want it to curve, you know, but you can't. So if it's a script font, I personally believe that it looks more like it looks a little bit more like it's curved. We'll see. We'll see if that works or not. All right, I'm going to go to the bottom cell down here at the bottom. I'm lightly tapping. If you tap too hard, you're going to select the whole page. And I know y'all have experienced that. So if I type, now see it shows up like it's right side up so I can see what it's typing. But as soon as I tap off of it, it puts itself, I don't know what it did. Okay, there's the rest of it. Okay. There it is. Okay, and I don't know. With it on the side like that, it's hard to tell if it helped at all or not. Okay, it may still be too big for the space. Since I chose that particular font, that might be messing it up. So I typed some letters and I'm tapping off. And see, it doesn't center it perfectly, but at least it does put it in the right angle. Come on. I'm selecting it and grabbing the blue and moving it over. Now I did have it, and you can do this. Let me select, I'm going to tap off so that I'm not changing the table, but I want to change the default and maybe put it center horizontal. I'm gonna leave it top because I want to. I think it works better if it's at the top. I tried it centered into the cell, and it just doesn't work. So we're going to try that. I made the font a little bit smaller and try it again over on the small side there and type some letters in. Tap away. Golly, it doesn't even look like a word, huh? Well, it's not a word. So if I see now, I can drag it up and put it better. Yeah, the problem is that the word is bigger than the width of the cell. I put too many letters in that nonsense word. Okay, now, if I tap off of it, that looks a little bit better. I don't know. I may be fooling myself to think that that's less obvious than the non-script font. I don't know, but y'all see what I'm doing anyway. That's what I was trying. Just putting headers on the cells. Now, instead of adding color to columns, I'm just going to use the bucket tool and go back to style and do color and do blue and tap inside one of the cells. You know, and then you could build a table for a legend to say, okay, the blue is X number of sales or whatever, expenses or whatever you're trying to tell. And then change the color and drop it in to your table. That's the way I would do it instead of trying to figure out what colors and how to make your color wheel or your color palette fit your cell. It would be harder to do. This way you've got control over it, okay? All right, so that's just a simple circular table. Now I'm going to change that table. I'm going to get rid of some of the text because we don't need that right now. Delete. I don't want to delete the table. I want to keep that. Well, what am I doing? Drag it over. Okay, now take it back. And this time I think I'm going to make a bullseye this time. So I really want all the cells to be exactly right, okay? I don't need the columns, but I need more rows this time. So I go back to style and I take the rows up to 6 or 7 or 8, somewhere in there, and then just get rid of the columns. Now notice that there's a black line that runs down. That's the border. So if I go back to the border and I drag border scale to the left, it's at 1.8 now, but if I drag it to the left, see that line disappears. Now you need to remember that because if for some reason you needed that line as one of your it's a cell divider actually. You know, if I go back here and add 7 more things, that downstroke is still the border, and if it's disappeared, watch what happens. See, that disappears, and that throws your whole chart off. So it's okay this time because I don't want the lines anyway. I don't want columns. So I'm taking that all the way down to 0. Now I'm going to the fill, turn it on, and I'm going to get a different palette. I'm going to get the black and white palette and go back and remember from yesterday, the palette doesn't change until I go to something else and come back. See, now I've got the black and white. So now at the top, I'm going to alternate rows. See, I've got a gray and white. So if I choose black, there I have my bullseye. Now, now I'm going to, that's fun. That's a bullseye, you know, but what I wanted to show you, this is what I do all day long. I sit and I wonder if, and what if I do this, and you know, I bet that would look cool. So I select, I'm going to grab it like that. I just hit grab. It's got the pink. I'm going to hold my pen down, do copy, go, and that puts it on the pasteboard. Go to my fill tool and change it to image instead of color. And I'm going to do from pasteboard. See, right now I've got the corkboard filling. So let me show you that real quick. See, if I tap down, it's the corkboard. That's what I had for yesterday's video, or a few days ago. I just like that look. It's just a little piece of a corkboard that I took an image of. You know, I grabbed a little piece of it and put it on I saved it as a favorite. Now I'm just going to get rid of it because I'll leave it. That's all right. We'll go back and do from pasteboard. Now my bullseye is there. And I take it down a few, make it smaller. And then I tap on the outside of the bullseye. And you have to wait a second because it's thinking. Ta-da! Now you have a cool, very cool page. You know, so that's what I sit and do all day. And something else I accidentally hit on, you know, if you had this and you started tapping on different, oops, I need to undo that. That's not what I was going to show, how cool I thought it was. All right, let me tap it back. I just want to fill the page with the circles. Now I go back to the fill and change it to back to the cork or color. Let's do color. And I can use the yellow, and I'm going to come in and fill various circles where it's white. Let me open it up. If I just tap and fill one of the spots, see, it makes it a little yellow circle and then a dot. And you can go and do various sizes and shapes of circles on your page and then delete the background, and you've got all these perfect circles and donut holes. And this is the first time I've done this, so we're not real sure how it's going to look, but I think it's going to be cool. Okay, now I'm going to go back out. Of course, you'd keep going. That's when you're really bored. And select all the circles. And all I have to do, because it's one solid piece of, see, it moves around. But see, now I've got little bubbles all over my page. Delete. Bubbles and spots. Can you tell I don't have enough to do with my life? All right, so that's that. Let me go back up. This is a sub-document, so I'm going back up to make sure that I cover everything. Okay. The cool little bunches of circles. Let me do that one. I'm going to open up a different tablet. Okay. And I'm going to draw a circle. Shape is a circle. And this time I'm going to, you know what? I'm not going to start with a circle. We're going to start with just a plain old square. A plain old rectangle there. And then go here. And I don't want any columns, but I do want 300 rows. 300. All right. And then I draw it. Now I've got, see, I got all these tiny little rows. And then I go back to the table, and I'm going to go to border, and I'm going to get rid of the border. So that'll make the black lines disappear. See how good that worked? No, I got to go to pen thickness. It did take care of the outside. I keep forgetting the pen thickness. I take it to 0, hit return. Now it appears to be completely white. But if I go to the fill, and I change my palette, I go to palette and I change that. Ta-da! You get a beautiful color blend. Isn't that pretty? And now I'm going to drag it up to reshape it. And see, now it looks like a, what do you call it? A iridescent tube. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to make it a circle. Shape, circular. Now it goes real small, but that's okay. We're going to, doggone, okay. Select it, make it bigger. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to make a center, take the center gap and make it big. So now I have a very cool iridescent circle. Now at this stage, well, I'm going to do it on a different one. I'm going to change my color palette again. I'm going to go back to fill. I'm going to go back here. And then I'm going to just start clicking on different color changes. Or see, now that looks like kind of sort of like a silver tube. And yesterday I was playing with trying to get different things. And the way, see, if you notice, I put black on either end so that I have a very dark edge on the inside, and on the outside the edges. And then I started moving it in towards the white. And see the difference from this, because I have more browns in it, to this where I have extra. I've got one black on the edges and 2 dark browns, and then a white right in the center to give that kind of rounded look. But that's not the one we're going for. And you can just sit here and play all day. No, everything just makes a difference as to what color, the arrangement of the colors on your color palette. See, now I think this is the coolest thing. It looks like a frame to me. And I would probably go back to the table and go back to the shape and make it even bigger, the hole in the middle. So now watch what happens if I go back and change it to rectangle. Whoa. And I drag it up and I make it into a tube. See, it just looks so cool to me. And I think that would be such a cool divider on your page from your wherever you want it. I just think that's neat. It looks kind of like a board around your room or something. I can't think of the word. Okay, so that's all right. I'm going to go back to the circular, make it into a circle again, and it automatically goes real small. Okay, now we've got that. Now, no matter what you do to this thing, if you try to make an oval out of it, it pops right back into place. You can't make an oval out of a round table. However, you can do a copy of it, copy, and then paste as image. Well, isn't that interesting? See, every time I do this, I learn something. When I tried, that's just neat. All right, so now I've got 2 things, but let me do it again because that is not the goal. I select this again, and I do copy, and then paste as image. Now, because it's an image, I can squeeze it and turn it. And now I've got a frame or whatever. See, you could make a chain out of it if you open up, like, let me show you. If I use this table right here, that is still a table, and I just click on, get back to the table, open it up just a hair. This is this. Do the sweep thing. Not that much. I just want it just a hair. Well, it's not letting me do just a hair. It's jumping. Shoot. You want it like this, the size, the width of the circle is what I'm trying for, but I'll show you what where I'm going with it in a second. All right, now I'm gonna I'm trying to select it, do a copy of it as it is, copy, and do paste. I'm just trying to get another one. And now if I rotate it, I can angle it just so. Let me get rid of this one. This one's noise. If I just turn it and move it. See, what I'm trying to do is get it to look like it's linked. But it's not letting me because it's too open. So if I can take that and try to close it in a little bit. Circle sweep. Every time I put my hand down, my window closes. I tried to, let's see. See, if you overlap it, there's something about it that is still a little bit translucent, and I don't know why that is. Instead of being 100% opacity, even though you've got it set at 100% opacity, they're still a little bit clear, translucent. Okay, well anyway, you just keep moving this puppy until until you get it in the right spot. Oh, and it looks like they're linked. Okay, just take my word for it. All right, so that's some circles. If I go back up, I don't want to forget anything. I have to keep going back up to my original page so I can remember what to show you guys. Okay, and these tables that have the months and days and years, whatever, the first one over on the left that's got April 18th circled, you know, that's just one round table that the opening is really wide, and I have the drop shadow turned on, and then I just put in a calendar. I don't know if y'all have paid attention to this new little feature down here. I love this. Add month, and you tell it what month you want, and you do create, and it creates a cute little calendar that is actually linked. So that is an awesome little option. But see, you could put it inside a round table like this one is, and you got yourself one of those kind of calendars that you circle stuff. The one with the big NB in the middle, that's 3 separate circles, same thing, one row with different numbers of cells. And all right, while I'm at it, I'm just curious. I haven't done this yet, so we'll see. If you select, I need to select it. And now I get the selection menu. If you go down, I may have told you this already, but it says number cells. I click on that, and I'm just going to go number cells. And see, it puts the 1 through 9 adjusted it ever so slightly, but it numbers the cells. It probably is created more for a regular rectangle, you know, but well, there you go. Now it's like perfect. How perfect is that? I just tweaked it just a hair. Well, it's a little bit high on the left. I get a little bit perfectionistic when it comes to stuff like this. I want it to be exact, but that's okay. I'm gonna leave it alone. What I could do, because see, the 1 is higher than the 9, I could just move it. Select the 1 and drag it down. Well, that's got the 2. And this is something that I wanted to show you. This is how I created the round down at the bottom. You can't, like I said, none of these letters are curved, and I want curved. So I decided that maybe if I created a partial circle. I'll open it. I've got another page. If I get the right tool. Okay. See, I created this partial thing, and then I go into each cell and type the letters. Now, I start in the middle of the word, and that way I've got it centered for sure. Because, I mean, round is pretty easy. But if I had a long word, I might have a hard time remembering it. So if I go to the A here, now I'm telling you, this is for somebody that is real picky about their stuff. Because I'm real picky about my, oops. I see, I changed the font. Let me change the font back to a regular font. And I want to do U. And see, it automatically creates the width. And if you need to pull it in so that it's more centered and less likely to be grabbed every time you grab something. And once you've created it, you drag it to the bottom or to the top. It depends on what you're wanting to do. All right, now I'm going to select off again. And type in O. And of course, I'm sitting here speaking through all of this stuff. If I didn't do that, if I were just sitting here working on it, it goes a whole lot faster, though it is tedious. Let's see, the O, an R. See, I have to remember how to spell words when I'm doing this. You got to write your word down or you'll really get lost. Nope, see, I tapped too hard and I got in a different place. I got to lightly tap. All right, do the R. Move it in. Move it down. See, I'm determined to get a curve. Even if I have to sit here and do this little nitpicky little stuff, just because I want to. Let's see, N. You'd think it mattered, right? I do absolutely nothing that really matters. So it's like, why are you bothering? Okay, I need to stop tapping on it. I was trying to grab the the U. The U looks like it's too far down compared to the others. I never realized I was a perfectionist until one day a friend of mine said, "Are you kidding me?" I just never thought of myself as one because I'm really kind of sloppy. Oh, no, I did the wrong letter. Like, I don't care about my house. It can sit here and, why? I can't. Let me just back. I don't care how messy my house is, but I want my D to be in the right place. What can I say? All right, and if I grab now, I take that row and pull it down. See, it's evenly spaced and it's on a curve. I know you people are thinking, has she lost her mind? But but I like it like that. See, if I move it up closer, then I could probably do a better job of getting the exact placement. But having this little grid thing like I have it, it forces me to do one letter at a time. I'd be tempted to just type in round and then try to twist stuff, and just twisting stuff doesn't work. And anyway, this is how I came up with a way to get a slight curve to a word. All right. Okay, I think I've about killed this horse. Let me go back up again. I'm just giving you ideas of ways to play with it, to see how to make things happen that you want to happen. Now let me just show you this. I'm going to show you this because all right. Last night, after I pointed out that I just made this cute little brad. All you have to do is do this and do this. Well, I got obsessed with it. And I said, well, let me just make a bunch of brads. So I did. See, I did it with the color plus white and the color plus black. And then just the color. And the way I did that, well, I had a lot of little steps, you can see. But if I turn off, I have it on layers, turn off this one, that one. The problem is this right here, this blue, is a filling that I used the bucket and I tapped on the black. See, if I turn it back on, the original is black. And that's how I created the black and color. But, see, let me zoom in on it. You don't have anything else to do, right? See, I colored. If I turn it off, you can see what I did. I did a graduation. I did the colors from left to right, kind of part of the, the yellow in the middle, the blue and the red. And so did kind of a blend going that way. And then I added white to it and went down. And what you don't see, I'm not real sure where I hit it, I went to black on the other direction. So I've got a full spectrum of color. But, and then I added if I turn that back on, then I can, do a grab with a circle and create it. Anyway, that's what I do for play. When I'm sitting around watching TV, y'all wonder how I know this stuff. It's because I sit and do this kind of stuff. All right. Listen, let me ask you a favor. I've not asked you this before. Everybody does, and I just never cared. I mean, I want to know. If you learn anything, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up or giving me a comment, I am not monetized. I'm not asking for this for monetary reasons. I think you have to have 1,000 people in your group and then do some other stuff. I don't even know. And, I'll probably never have 1,000 followers. I just want a thumbs up so I can know that I'm actually reaching anybody. If you learn anything new and different, I wish you'd give me a thumbs up just so I get a feeling for it. Am I even teaching anything? I've got several people that I can tell they appreciate it, and I love that. I love comments, whether it's positive or negative. I want to know what you guys are learning or not learning. And the thumbs up is completely 100% anonymous, so I don't have any idea who's doing the thumbs up. But, of course, if you comment, unless you have a fake name, I'll be able to see the name. I'm not going to do anything with it. I just want to know if I'm doing any good here or not. All right? All right, that's enough. Y'all have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.